Tonight, we're not doing surface level dating talk. We're not doing memes, toxicity, or men are trash versus women are the problem arguments. We're going deeper than that. We're talking about why love feels heavier, why relationships don't last like they used to, and why so many people feel alone even when they're in a relationship. This isn't about blaming men or blaming women. It's about understanding both. It's about seeing the damage, the pressure, the confusion, and then trying to rebuild something real from it. So if you've ever asked yourself, why is love so hard now? Or why can't relationships last anymore? This is for you. Take a breath. Drop the defensiveness. Tonight, we're talking like family. Let's start with the shift, because love didn't just randomly get harder. The entire world around it changed. Back then, love was built inside a structure. Roles were clearer. Men were expected to protect and provide. Women were expected to nurture and stabilize the home. Was it perfect? No. Some people stayed in situations that were unhealthy. But something they did have was a strong sense of duty, a mindset of, we work through this. Love wasn't just butterflies, it was responsibility. Today, that structure is gone. Independence went up, expectations went up, social media went crazy, and suddenly love had to survive in a world of distractions, ego, and endless options. People don't stay just because it's the right thing anymore. They stay if they feel emotionally fulfilled, respected, seen, and safe. The problem is, nobody taught us how to build that kind of love. So we're trying to create deep, emotionally mature relationships with skills we never learned and examples we never saw. It's like trying to build a house with no blueprint and half the tools missing. Now let's talk to the men for a minute, because a lot of brothers out here are struggling silently. The world tells men, be strong, but be vulnerable. Provide, but don't be controlling. Lead, but don't offend. Be emotional, but not too emotional. It's like being given a test with no answer key. Most men weren't raised to express feelings, they were raised to push through them. So when a woman says, talk to me, open up, tell me how you feel, a lot of men freeze. Not because they don't care, but because nobody taught them how to safely do that. Some men leave, not because they don't love the woman, but because deep down they're scared they'll fail her, scared they're not enough, scared they'll disappoint her or repeat the chaos they grew up in. On the outside, that looks like coldness, distance, or a man who doesn't want commitment. On the inside, it's shame, confusion, and fear. Men need a space where they can be honest without instantly being labeled weak, toxic, or useless. They need room to grow instead of being expected to already be perfect. Because real love doesn't need a superhero. It needs a man who's willing to show up, stay, listen, learn, and lead with a steady heart instead of a scared one. Now, ladies, let's talk about what you've been carrying. Because this generation of women is doing a lot. You're working, studying, raising kids, supporting families, healing from childhood trauma, and still expected to be soft, feminine, and emotionally available. That's a lot. Say, many women became strong because they had no choice. They became independent because depending on someone failed them before. They became guarded because being open got them hurt, used, or abandoned. So now we have women who crave love, but don't fully trust it. Women who want to be soft, but are scared that if they relax for 1 second, everything will collapse. Underneath the unbothered persona, the pretty pictures, and the I don't need anyone captions, there's often a tired heart, a heart that just wants to feel safe with someone who won't take advantage. The pressure to always be okay is real. And sometimes love feels hard for women not because they don't want it, but because they're exhausted from being the strong one, the planner, the emotional manager, and the backbone for everyone else. They're asking, will I ever get to rest with someone who actually has me for real? A big part of why love feels so hard now is simple. Men and women are not each other's enemies, but we've been acting like it. Men often need respect to feel loved. Women often need security to feel loved. When a man doesn't feel respected, he shuts down or pulls back. When a woman doesn't feel secure, she gets anxious, emotional, or distant. Both sides think, you don't care. In reality, both sides are hurting and protecting themselves. Men say women just want money. Women say men just want bodies. Underneath those complaints are deep fears. Fear of being used, fear of being unappreciated, fear of trusting the wrong person. We're not just dealing with gender differences, we're dealing with fear differences. Until we stop arguing about who has it worse and start understanding what each side actually needs, we're going to keep missing each other. The goal is not men versus women. The goal is men and women versus the problem. Let's make it practical. Men, here's what many of you need in love, even if you don't always say it. You need respect, not worship, not control, just respect. Respect for your effort, even when it's not perfect. Respect for your role, even if you're still growing into it. You need peace, a home that doesn't feel like a battlefield every time there's a small disagreement. You need honesty and loyalty. You need to feel that if you open up, it won't be used against you mid-argument. You need a woman who believes in your potential but doesn't treat you like a project. And you need space to grow without instantly being labeled not a real man when you're still figuring things out. None of that means men shouldn't be held accountable. They should. But when a man feels respected, appreciated, and emotionally safe, he becomes more loving, more protective, more emotionally present. A secure man in a secure relationship is a powerful thing. Now let's talk about what many women need to feel safe in love. They need presence. Not just gifts, not just words. Presence, time, attention, effort. They need clarity, not mixed signals, not maybe, not let's just see where this goes. While you act like a boyfriend but dodge responsibility. They need emotional security, knowing that if they give their heart, you won't disappear when things get hard. They need protection. Not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. She wants to feel like she can rest with you, not compete with you or constantly prove her worth. She needs consistency, not hot one day, cold the next, and she needs to know that her softness won't be taken for weakness, that her vulnerability won't be laughed at, mocked, or used to control her. When a woman feels truly safe, not controlled, not oppressed, but safe, she becomes even more loving, more supportive, and more peaceful. A secure woman in a secure relationship is a blessing, not a burden. Here's the part a lot of people skip. Most adults today did not grow up watching healthy love. Some of us grew up in yelling, doors slamming, silent treatment, cheating, or people walking out. Some grew up never seeing affection at all. No hugs, no I'm proud of you, no real emotional connection. Some saw their mothers doing everything. Some saw their fathers never stay. Some saw alcohol, anger, violence, or pure emotional distance. And now, those kids are grown. They're dating. They're getting married. They're having children. But the wounds didn't magically disappear just because we got older. We carry what we saw. We repeat what we survived. We sabotage what feels too healthy. And we cling to what feels familiar, even when it's bad for us. You can't build a healthy relationship on top of unhealed trauma. You can't fix childhood pain with adult romance. Until we admit, yeah, some of my relationship issues are deeper than my ex, we're going to keep dragging old pain into new love. Social media flipped the game completely. Before, if you broke up with someone, you might see them in town one day or you might not. Now, break up at 3 p.m. and by 7 p.m. somebody's in your DMs talking about, hey beautiful or hey big head. Dating apps and everything created this illusion that there's always something or someone better. So instead of building, people browse. Instead of working through problems, they replace. And the ego boost is real. Likes, comments, hard eyes, constant validation. People start thinking, why should I fight for this person when 10 others are ready to take their spot? But deep down, most of those options are shallow. It's not connection, it's attention. It's not security, it's stimulation. And when you keep hopping from one person to the next, you never stay long enough to build depth with anyone. The harsh truth is, we don't have more real options. We just have more distractions dressed up as options. Now we have to talk about situationships, because a lot of hearts are breaking in that gray area. A situationship is basically, we act like we're together, but we're not really together, and nobody is fully responsible for anything. It feels light, casual, and fun at first. No labels, no pressure, no expectations. But you can't build anything stable on no expectations. Feelings grow, attachment grows, intimacy happens, and suddenly one person wants more and the other person doesn't, or someone gets pregnant, or somebody starts pulling away like, well, we were never officially together anyway. Now you've got real pain coming from an arrangement that was built to avoid commitment. You can't start as a maybe and expect to become a forever. If the foundation is confusion, the building will always shake. A lot of people are calling it bad luck in love, when in reality they're just building on weak foundations that were never meant to last. If we're being real, communication might be the biggest problem. People don't talk to understand, they talk to win. They listen just enough to answer, not to connect. Instead of saying, that hurt me, we say, you're toxic. Instead of saying, I feel insecure about this, we say, you got me messed up. Instead of asking questions, we assume. Instead of apologizing, we defend. And half the relationship is played out through screenshots, subtweets, and silent treatment. That's not communication, that's emotional warfare. Healthy communication isn't about who's right, it's about how do we move forward together. It looks like, when you did this, I felt this way. It sounds like, help me understand where you're coming from. It includes, I'm sorry, and actually meaning it. Without communication, love doesn't stand a chance. Even the right person will feel wrong if you never learn how to talk to each other instead of at each other. So where do we go from here? Because now we see the problem, but we need a way forward. Healing has to start with honesty. Men have to be honest about their fear, their pain, and their responsibility. Women have to be honest about their walls, their expectations, and their hurt. We both have to admit that we didn't get the best examples, but we still want real love. That's okay. The next step is doing the work. Therapy if needed, prayer, self-reflection, accountability, learning how to communicate, learning how to listen without attacking. Healthy love is not an accident. It's a decision backed up by daily effort. Men healing their silence, women healing their fear. Both sides healing their trust. That's how we move from blaming each other to building with each other. Love didn't die. We just stopped practicing the things that kept it alive. Patience, sacrifice, forgiveness, humility, and commitment. If love feels harder today, it's because the world got louder, colder, and more distracted. But real love still works when two people decide to do the work too. You don't need a perfect partner, you need a willing one. You don't have to repeat what you saw growing up. You can build something better. You can be the first in your bloodline to create a stable, loving home. You can be the example your kids look back on and say, that's what love looks like. It starts with awareness, it continues with action, and it survives through consistency. If you want more conversations that heal you, strengthen you, and keep you grounded in reality instead of social media illusions, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't just consume this and disappear back into the noise. Stay connected. Grow with us. Move smart in love the same way you move smart in life. This is not just feelings, this is your future. And remember, real security, real talk.